What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your good friend and host, Kory Willis. Hope everyone out there is doing well on a Wednesday, getting ready for Thanksgiving out there, guys, and some great college football coming up this weekend out there. So, overall, guys, I hope you all are doing well. Taking your trips. I hope you guys are safe. Traveling to see some of your friends and loved ones out there for the Thanksgiving holiday and weekend. And yeah, overall, I hope you guys are getting set for some great football as well, just like Chris and I are as well. So overall, hope you all are doing great. As always, we appreciate you guys listening to the show. You know where to find us. We're on multiple different applications. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, at BD Sportscast. You can find all of our content there. If you listen to the podcast, um, if you listen to the podcast on any one of your apps, of course, whether it's Apple Podcast, Spotify, you name it, you can listen to all of our past and present episodes of the Breakdown Sportscast on there. You just find our official page on whichever you prefer, whichever platform you prefer, and you can find all of our content there. And also, if you watch our live simulcast streams on our official YouTube channel here, and also on our official Twitch channel at Breakdown Video Game Cast. We appreciate that as well. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to all of our channels, guys. It's definitely important for Chris as we um, continue to grow this community. It's definitely important for Chris and I as we continue to create great content for you all here on the channel. So tell your friends. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers as well. If we can do that, we'll put your name into a raffle for some free swag courtesy of Chris and myself as a thank you for what you guys have done for this community and for this channel altogether. So, hey, let your friends know. It's getting closer to the holidays. So, hey, that'll be a great um, uh, stocking stuff, stocking present from Chris and myself. So yeah, definitely do that, guys. As always, you know I'm with my good friend and co-host. He is Chris Bolton. Chris, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, nothing much. Just trying to. I ain't gonna lie to you, Corey. I have, my appetite is large, but I'm trying to continue to eat more and more leading up to Thanksgiving Day. I know it sounds a little backwards. You might think I shouldn't eat that much. That way, I'm at my peak hunger for Thanksgiving, but I'm trying to continue to make sure my stomach is ready and expanded to carry on and take on the load that it will on Thursday. So to do so, you have to prep. You have to train the body, and by doing so, I've continued to eat more and more food, Corey. So we are in almost reaching peak form to take on what's going to go down on Thursday.
Absolutely, Chris. Nah, I agree with you. Look, how fitting that we got Thanksgiving coming up. As you guys are watching the show on tomorrow, and then the day after Thanksgiving. We got the real feast. It's the feast after the feast, and that's all of these great rivalry games coming up
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
this weekend. So hey, that's one way to train your body, get ready for both Thursday and Friday. You got one big plate, one big helping of goodness on Thursday, and then you got to turn around on Friday and get another helping of good food that is known as college football rivalry games.
with with the leftovers, if you're fortunate enough to have leftovers of that
Absolutely.
said good food from Thursday. So I mean, it's just a great couple of days all the way around, Corey.
No, no, no. You're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, man. Look, this is the moment that people, definitely prepare themselves for. And I know, like you said, hey, you've been preparing yourself. I've been preparing myself as well. For these next couple of days into the weekend, man. By the end of the weekend, man, we're gonna be fooled, man. We ain't gonna have no words.
Hey, it's gonna get ugly in the gym the next couple of days,
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Got a lot to work off.
Yeah, exactly. Like what they say, you got to lock in, and I think a lot of us, for both of us, we're gonna be locking in. Oh man, but yeah, man, yeah, it's a great week, rivalry week, the last regular season, last set of regular season games upon us, Chris. So it should be a great weekend ahead. Before we go into week 14, Chris, let's go ahead and talk about the college football playoff rankings that had just came out pretty much as we're recording this on a Tuesday evening. They actually just released. Let's go ahead and look at this, Chris, real quick. Pretty much, your top four teams are still the same ones. You got Ohio State number one, Indiana two, Georgia four, uh, um, or Texas A&M three, and then Georgia four. And then for the last several teams, we got Texas Tech at five, Oregon six, Ole Miss at seven, Oklahoma at eight. I think we have Notre Dame at nine, Alabama 10, and then Tulane gets that last spot at number 12. So pretty much as you're looking, folks, kind of going by the CFP bracket in terms of the seeding. So if we were to start the college football playoff today, this is what the bracket would look like. And this is interesting, Chris. You got Tulane taking on Texas Tech. Notre Dame has to travel to Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. Miami takes on Oregon, and Alabama taking on Ole Miss in the first round. So overall, Chris, that is the CFP bracket. What did you think about the top 12 teams in this week's ranking overall?
Yeah, you know, I still have my questions about this whole Miami Notre Dame thing, with Notre Dame being ranked above Miami. I know Miami has a couple losses to lesser opposition, but at the end of the day, when those two played head up, Miami won, and they were both sitting there with two losses. Yet Notre Dame is ranked ahead of Miami. So I do have my questions about that. Um, and I'm like, where's the love for JMU, Kory? James Madison been out here balling. James Madison, if the BCS was around, is getting some love by the computers. But they ain't got no love from the committee. Does the committee know ball, Kory? James Madison is a team that we previewed this offseason. We spoke about the Dukes and how they are a team that could come out in the group of five. And just, the offense that they are known for having. And it seems to tough out. And they've been playing great football all season and can't even crack the top 25 in the college football poll. I mean, I don't like that. As someone who we had our eyes on them this offseason, and they have lived up to expectations. They have been balling. This is a team that deserves to be considered for that at-large spot. I know all the spotlight goes to Tulane. Um, We've had our eyes on Memphis, South Florida throughout the year, but some love needs to be given to James Madison.
No, you're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, I don't understand the James Madison hate right now. Like this team has been playing some really good football right now. And for them to not get selected at all Come on
No
now.
consideration. I mean, not even cracking the top 25.
Yeah.
And I saw that they would be a top 20 team based on the BCS system. The BCS of all systems, Kory. You know how strict the BCS is. The BCS wasn't rocking with with small schools for the longest. So for you to get respected by the BCS computers, if they were to be in use today, that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Chris. And yeah, like look, they like James Madison, they are playing their schedule. They have to play the teams that they have to play. And they're winning. They're doing a great job of that. So why should they get punished for handling their schedule as about as perfectly as anyone in that conference right now in the Sun Belt? I think it's very unfair to what James Madison has done. Give those guys a shot. They're definitely a really good football team under Bob Chesney. And you know what? Mentioning Bob Chesney, Chris, maybe they're getting taxed right now because Bob Chesney is getting closer and closer to getting another head coaching job, and it looks like UCLA is right on board and getting his services come next year. So who knows? But I don't want to be the guy that brings in conspiracy theories, but who's to say that they're not being taxed? James Madison's not being taxed for hearing about Bob Chesney getting these head coaching looks at other schools. So,
Yeah,
it sucks either way because they're a good football team.
for sure, for sure. But otherwise, hey, it's kind of it is what it is. We'll know. We'll have further understanding of things after this weekend because we do have some rivalry games that could have some big implications on where the current seating is. So I'm curious to see just how these games play out and how they'll impact the poll.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, man. Look, this is what we live for. We got one more week upon us, and rivalry week is definitely going to play out in a way that's going to sort all of this out. Whether people like it or not, it's definitely going to sort things out indeed. So we will see. We will see what happens. But yeah, Chris, that was the CFP rankings. We'll see what the next rankings look like on next Tuesday, after the regular season ends and we get closer to conference championship play. So now we got week 14, rivalry week, Chris. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these games on the docket. Let's go ahead and kick things off with, yes, the Egg Bowl, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you have been waiting for this for this time of the week to talk about this game, and we're now at this point where we can actually, give our thoughts here on the show. The line right now, Chris, has Ole Miss as a 7.5 point favorite. Over under is at 62.5. So,
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss has to travel to Starkville, Chris. We've seen Mississippi State games all season long. We have seen them get ahead. We've seen them lose leads like no one's business. Don't believe in moral victories down there in Starkville in terms of what Jeff Levy has built there. What are your thoughts about this game, Chris? Because you got Lane Kiffin. He's it all seems like he has pretty much one foot out the door after this game. We already heard from the athletic director Keith Carter talking about after the Egg Bowl we're going to hear about Lane Kiffin and where he's going to land after that. Just is this just a catalyst for this Ole Miss team to not be ready to play this game, Chris? Or will they come out clicking on all cylinders and it's going to act like they're going to be like, hey, what coaching news happened? What does this Ole Miss team look like to you heading into this Egg Bowl, Chris?
Yeah, there are several factors that can really, that play into this matchup. You look at all the outside noise. Will the team be distracted? Um, you know, will they play at their best level, at its best level? Because there's a lot of noise going on with Lane Kiffin. It's taken away from what this team has accomplished this season. So that can be a factor. Uh, you know, because this team is trying to accomplish something special. Then you also have Mississippi State trying to play spoiler in that, and also, I mean, there's a lot riding on the line in this game. This game, similar to an Egg Bowl that we didn't know at that moment was really going to change the course of Mississippi college football for like the next, you know, 7 to 10 years, um, potentially. Yeah, but at least the next five for sure, but potentially 10 years was the piss and the miss, which also happened in Starkville. Joe Moorhead's last game coaching as Mississippi State's head coach. How that game turned out changed the whole trajectory of college football in the state of Mississippi because of Ole Miss losing that game. You go on to hire Lane Kiffin. And fast forward to now, Kory, after what Lane Kiffin has done and where Ole Miss is, Ole Miss has had a stranglehold on the state when it comes to playing well and um, putting out there, team after team that plays good football and challenges for the playoffs in the SEC. And this team is potentially could be in the SEC championship game and have a spot as in that large team in the playoff. Um, Now you can kind of right your wrong with how things played out from that situation, and low key force Lane Kiffin out. You could go ahead and close that door, Mississippi State. See ya. Go ahead and do your thing in LSU and Baton Rouge, and kind of level the playing field in the state of Mississippi. This is a huge game for both programs. So I think when you look at this on the field, though, Kory, it really starts, I feel like, in the trenches, like most games. But Mississippi State needs to keep Ole Miss's offense off the field. Mississippi State needs Fluff Bothwell and Devon Booth to both just carry us. Make this game as simple as possible for whoever is at quarterback, Kory, whether it's Blake Shapen or Kamario Taylor. Lighten the load, stay on schedule, keep Ole Miss off the field, their offense off the field, and keep this crowd engaged. And I think as the game continues, and if you play a physical game, you've established a run, and now it's a close game throughout, those bomb plays, those deep bombs will present themselves. And if you can click on those, capitalize, and really put the pressure on Ole Miss, there's already so much pressure built into this matchup. One, because it's a rivalry game, it's the Egg Bowl. Two, Ole Miss's playoff hopes hinge on this game. Now, if you add the added pressure of, oh, we really in the game, and we got to punch back and answer, I think you can see Ole Miss break. I'm not going to call the upset, but I really do feel like this game. There's a reason it's a 7.5 point spread. I think you want to go with Mississippi State and take the 7.5 points because there's true potential based on what we've seen from State this season and how they play with the Texases of the world, the Floridas, um, the Tennessees. I mean, you name it. They played a lot of really talented SEC teams very tightly. And I think I think Jeff Levy's going to have to pull out all the stops in this one. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss does find a way to win. I think the Rebels will take this one 41-38. I think a lot of points will be put on the board. I think it's going to be high scoring. But if this game is in the 20s, Kory, as crazy as that may sound for a team that runs the beer and shoot offense, and you wanna attack points, I think it suits Mississippi State well for this to be a battle, to be like the 2000s Mississippi State teams, some of those 90s Jackie Sherrill teams, to be a grinded out game. I think this is the kind of game you would favor Mississippi State in if it's lower scoring. So we'll see how it does play out, but I think the Bulldogs are live for the upset. But I'm a side with Ole Miss, putting a stamp on what's been a special season for the Rebels and narrowly escaping out of Starkville with the golden egg.
Well said, good sir. Yeah, look, I've been thinking about this too, Chris. I think Ole Miss, for all of the distractions that have been going on the last week and a half now, this is a big one for them. There's an opportunity for them to solidify their stance, plant that flag in Starkville, Mississippi, and say, "Hey, we are the flagship school here in the state of Mississippi. You can't touch us." The opportunity's there. They've had a great season, one of the best seasons in the history of Ole Miss football, and I think these guys know what's at stake. The funny thing about it is that you probably look at a lot of that team. A lot of those guys aren't from the state of Mississippi like that. So man, I think they'll
This might be
still
their,
be.
they're going to get punched in the mouth. This is going to be like their real, like, oh, this is how this game is like.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's the point in time where I think they'll realize that, hey, I think we need to play this football game. Whether we win, whether we lose. I think this rivalry right here is a rivalry to not mess with. We got to be prepared mentally and physically for 4 quarters to try to win this ball game. So I think you're going to see guys like Kyron Lacey, really go hard in the paint to try to get some good runs in to hopefully get Ole Miss into a victory and definitely keep those playoff hopes alive at that point. But on the flip side, you Mississippi State, you have been getting beaten, battered by the national media for seasons now. This school had to go through one of the worst coaching changes of all in college football in terms of like losing um uh, the late great Mike Leach, getting Zach Arnett, that did not work. You know, dealing with what you deal with last season. You lost to Tulane in Starkville. You didn't win the SEC game. You didn't win the SEC game until earlier, in mid season this year against Arkansas. And boy, that took everything out of you to try to win that
It's like
game.
a 17-point comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, only to, then lose to Georgia, then lose to Missouri in the worst way. You're still kind of looking like the laughing stock towards the college football national media. This is a big opportunity for Mississippi State. You're 5-6. You gotta get to bowling. You have not went to a bowl game in like 3 years, practically. Something has to give. So how fitting would it be if you beat your rival Ole Miss in Starkville and actually calm some of the rhetoric on, hey, is Jeff Levy the guy in Starkville? Because look, folks, if you're not a fan of this rivalry, that's been going on as well too. Mississippi State has been a lot of fans. The fan base has been either on board or off board with Jeff Levy and the experiment that's been going on down there. How fitting would it be if he can win this ball game and definitely calm some of those people's nerves um, after this game? That's
And Jeff
huge.
Levy has his own rivalry with Lane Kiffin.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Look, those two can sit there and act like there's nothing between those two. There was one point Jeff Levy was on that staff at Ole Miss. You know, he knows what that culture's like. And now being at Mississippi State, you gotta finish. You gotta finish. So the two different worlds, Chris. Someone has to break through. Is it Ole Miss with their season practically on the line? I think because I think if they lose this game, I don't even think they make it to the playoffs. Some people may think that they will. I don't know. Um, you know, can they solidify those playoff hopes with a win against Mississippi State, their rival, or can Mississippi State figure it out, finish a game, finish a game at home, and get to bowl eligibility for the first time since 2022? I think this is a huge game in the SEC. I can't wait to watch this one. I know you're going to be watching this game as well, Chris. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. We will see what happens. Hopefully, my magic, my voodoo will work by picking Ole Miss, the old jinx. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's going to be quite the game because there is a very possible and real chance. And Mississippi State pulls through, Kory. It's the Egg Bowl. You seen Step Brothers? It's the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, man.
But yeah, anything can happen. We've seen it all with this game. No matter what kind of season each team is having, this game gets ignorant.
It does. It does. Look, we've seen piss and misses. We've seen literal fights between quarterbacks.
We saw Bo Nix going in for the game tying touchdown. I said Bo Nix, Bo Wallace going in for the game tying touchdown, and
Wallace
fumbling. and Mississippi State recovers. I think it was Jamerson Love recovered the football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And thanks to Nico Whitley by punching it out. The guy had an ACL injury. He tore his ACL. He's still out there playing. Insane. Man. This is this rivalry, folks. If you do not know what entails in the Egg Bowl, crazy stuff happens in this game. And I know some people are out there saying, like, well, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, like, it's not like they're going to the playoffs or anything. Like how is this rivalry this crazy? I know you've heard that from people as well too, Chris. It gets crazy. You have two teams in the state of Mississippi going for the same types of players. The stories that come from that insane rivalry. Like this is a nasty rivalry. You can take your Iron Bowls. Probably the closest next to the Egg Bowl, it has to be Michigan, Ohio State. And then after that, man, we're talking about rivalries that are too far in the distance from those two.
It's definitely a special game. One that's near and dear to our heart, being from the state of Mississippi. But it'll be fun, man. It's a unique circumstances surrounding this year's rendition of the Egg Bowl. So I'm definitely curious and ready to see how this bad boy goes down.
I am too, man. We're almost there. I'm definitely prepared. I'm ready for whatever happens. I think it's going to be a good game.
Agreed.
So, yeah, man. Well, from that game, Chris, we are going to move on to our next game. We have Georgia taking on Georgia Tech. The line has UGA as a 13.5 point favorite. Over-under is at 59.5. So, what are your thoughts about this game, Chris? Just because look, Georgia Tech, they had that bad loss last week against Pitt. I'm talking about got drugged for 4 quarters. They have an opportunity, Chris, to shock the college football world and beat Georgia at home in Atlanta. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think this Georgia team is on a mission right now, Chris.
Hmm.
There's so much on a mission. Kirby Smart had to let go of one of his offensive linemen after. Well, what do you know, Chris? Being being in traffic once again. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
The mountains, man, those highways out there in Athens, them boys, man, they love the speed on them. They
Oh
can't
my
help
gosh.
themselves.
Oh my gosh. I'm riding 45, man, out there, man. If I ever gotta go to Athens, I am definitely riding the speed limit, man. If I even see a car that's just going like too fast down the road, I'm just going to just uh, think that's a Georgia football player.
You're probably right.
But yeah, Chris, I think Georgia is definitely on a different trajectory than Georgia Tech. Now, I think this team has been playing lights out football week in and week out, and it's going to be hard to knock down the Georgia Bulldogs in this one. What are your thoughts about this game as we get closer to it on what is it, Friday? I think this game comes on Friday as well.
Hmm.
Same
Hmm.
time as Egg Bowl. Yeah.
I
Same
think
day.
it's on the same day as the Egg Bowl. I think it's the night game.
Yeah. No, it's 2:30 game on
Oh, it's a two
ABC.
thirty game, so that means
Yeah.
Texas and Texas A&M
Mm-hmm.
would be
Yep.
the night game, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Sounds about right.
Okay, okay. So my thoughts. Early on in the season, I was really nervous for Georgia when it comes to this game. I will say the fact that Georgia Tech lost does, I think it should have Georgia fans on high alert from the standpoint of you should get your best Georgia Tech. Uh, if I know, I don't know Brent Key personally, but based off what we've seen, the kind of coach he is, I feel like Georgia Tech will come in guns blazing. We should see them executing, and I think we should see a team that will its primary focus will be to stop the run. They gave up over 200 yards to Turner for Pitt on the ground this past week. So it's unacceptable. It's inexcusable, and it won't be allowed. Um, but that shows there are cracks in this Georgia Tech run defense. And we know Kirby Smart and what Georgia does. This is a team that prides itself on running the football. The offensive line, this team has improved this year, Kory, when it comes to the run blocking. They're rounding back into form. We're seeing these guys, be able to get that push that we consistently see from Georgia O lines over the years, and I think that will continue. I think over the course of the ball game, Georgia will find a way to break through. I think it'll be close early on. I can see Georgia winning by 7 points at halftime, Kory. Like a 14-7, 17-10 kind of lead at half. And I think as the game continues, the wear and tear of the kind of punishing game this will be will favor Georgia. And I think Georgia will eventually pull away and win this game by a couple touchdowns and cover the spread. However, there is the world where Haynes King, who has proven himself to be a dynamic playmaker, Kory, and this Georgia defense has not been the best when it comes to the pass rush, and don't force many turnovers either. You give Haynes King the opportunity to make plays, and you're not getting a rush on him, and you leave him lanes to scramble. and make plays with his arm and his legs, he can he can be just a nightmare to this defense. So there is a pathway for Georgia Tech to have success because we saw it last year with him. The guy just, I mean, that game was incredible, and the kind of game he had was special. Just willing this team to go back and forth with Georgia. This is a rivalry game, and anything can happen. I haven't seen enough consistently out of Georgia Tech this past month, Kory, to be able to go with the Yellow Jackets to pull the upset. But I just want to make sure that we do note that there is a pathway for the upset for Tech, and it does center around Haynes King making plays out here, throwing for 275, rushes for 125. I mean, just doing it all. And as crazy and outlandish it may sound, it's very real and possible that he can do that. Um, but I'm gonna side with the Bulldogs in this ground game just being too much, Kory, and Georgia winning 30. We'll say 34-20.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I think you're coming on to something, Chris. I think with this game being in Atlanta, it definitely heightens more of excitement. Um, I'd say for both of these teams, but for Georgia Tech, look, they're going to be trying to find a way to not get embarrassed in this game because they are look. If there's any time to not get embarrassed, it's probably this game, especially against your rival. You got jaw jacked last week against Pitt at your home turf. Um, you wanna right the ship and actually come out swinging on all cylinders in this game against your rival. I think Georgia Tech is going to play a really good ball game against Georgia. I still think Georgia's going to win though, um, but it's going to be close. I'll go ahead and say Georgia wins 35-31 over the Yellow Jackets. Um, just because, man, when you got the team of Nate Frazier, Chauncey Bowens, that tandem in the backfield, they can get you. If they get to the second level, Chris, they gone, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's gonna be hard as the game progresses. And look, we know how Kirby is, and I'm basing that all on how Kirby's going to try to wear down Georgia Tech through this game. He's going to utilize those running backs. And once that happens, I think there's going to be a wrap for Georgia Tech. Just because once Kirby keeps his foot on the gas, it's hard to stop him at that point. He knows he's going to line up his offensive linemen. They've been really good at run blocking. For the most part, in I'll say the second half of the season, they definitely found that spark. They're going to lean into that heavily, and they're going to wear out Georgia Tech towards the end to get the victory. On the flip side, I think this game is going to be close just by what you said. Haynes King has been a monster, both throwing the football and running the football. And he doesn't even have to necessarily run the football that much, but he does because he has Haynes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jamal Haynes. And he's had a really good year so far. You know, um, so yeah, I'm looking at this game in terms of it being a battle. I think it's going to be a game that's definitely going to be through the ground for all four quarters, and I just think Georgia has a little bit more in the tank to finish out a game like that. We've seen it from them. Especially that Florida game. I think that was the game that we really noticed what they were capable of. So yeah, give me Georgia to win this one. I think they have what it takes to finish out strong in the regular season, and yeah, I think from there we'll see what happens with them going forward in the playoffs. But Georgia Tech, they're gonna try their best to give it the game. And who knows? Maybe they will find a way to tire out Georgia. Yeah, that'll be crazy. But yeah, I give me Georgia to win this one. 35-31.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, should be a good game indeed. We'll see what happens this weekend, Chris. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have another game. This game, Chris, is in the ACC. This is a big one. We have Miami traveling to Pitt. The line has Miami as a 6.5 point favorite. Over under is at 51.5, Chris. So who you got in this one, Chris? This is a look. This is one of those games that are for all the marbles. If you want to find a way to make a case for one of these teams to be a playoff team or to get closer into the playoffs, because I think if Pitt can win this one, well, there's no doubt they'll definitely be in the ACC championship game with a win in this one. But if Miami can win, they'll still need a little help. But I'd say it's a good way to finish the regular season off, I should say, if they're trying to make their own campaign in playoff contention. What are your thoughts in this one overall, Chris? Who do you think wins this one?
This is it's a tricky game. You know, at Pitt this time of the year, and I know we should look at these games. We want to look at them in a box. You know, just off the talent. You know how these teams match up. But let's be honest here, Kory. Miami has an MO for blowing these kind of games. This has kind of been on brand with Mario Cristobal in this program. You know, with so much riding on a game like this. Miami does not normally play up to its potential and meet the moment. I think Pitt is a good team. I think Pitt can expose some of the flaws with the Miami team that's extremely talented, but just lets up off the gas, makes uncharacteristic, just bad mistakes. Carson Beck, bad interceptions in the red zone, driving, or you might throw a pick six. I mean, it's just really bad turnovers you sometimes get out of Carson Beck. I think this game will pose opportunities for Pitt to be able to capitalize on those plays and maybe get a pick six, maybe get an interception that stops Miami, halts their momentum as they're driving down the fields on a 70-yard drive and on the verge of scoring. I think Carson Beck will give you the chance to make a play. And if Pitt does, I think Pitt's very live for the upset. I think Pitt, with the points, is a good bet to take because Miami very well can and will win this game. I just struggle to see them winning the game handedly, just running away with it. And maybe this is the time that they do so, Kory. And if so, shout out to Mario Cristobal and the squad for doing so, for finally putting it together when it matters the most. End of the season, you get James Toney the ball. You get these guys the ball, and you execute. Carson Beck throws for 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Like you play good football. But this could be an ugly game. And I have a feeling it's going to be a hard-fought victory for the Canes. I'm going to side with Miami winning this game. I'll say it's going to be like 24-23. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be tough.
Look, this game got ugly written all over.
It does. I'm a side with the Canes, Kory. but I really think Pitt will be live to find a way to win this game
Mm-hmm.
because I think Miami is live for giving opportunities to Pitt to win this game. I struggle to trust Miami to go out here and take care of business in a way that's like, oh, Miami won the game 41-20. Well, look at that. I struggle to see that happening. But I still say the Canes find a way to win. It just will not be pretty, boy. This gonna be ugly.
Can you imagine, Chris, if this game had like 100% chance of rain?
Ooh.
And look, we know what Pitt looks like when it's like a monsoon. I don't know what it's like out there in Pittsburgh, folks. If you're a Pittsburgh native and you're well adjusted to the weather out there, please tell us in the comments below how crazy it gets in terms of watching Pitt games or even Steelers games in terms of the weather. Man, if it was like that, I I definitely say Pitt wins this ball game. I wouldn't give Miami any attention at all. Oh man, but no, you're absolutely right, Chris. I think this game it's a scary one for Miami. It definitely is because I think Pitt getting humbled against Notre Dame definitely unlocked something in this team. And this team was already a talented team before that game. Um, they just got humbled against a better team in Notre Dame. That happens. It's happened for everyone this season.
Mm-hmm.
But man, yeah, I'm I'm going to say at the end of the day, I think I think Pitt's gonna win. I really do, Chris. I would like to see Miami see if they can
Mm-hmm.
figure out something to beat this Pitt team. But man, I think Pitt, after beating Georgia Tech last week, I think they're looking they're out for blood, and they're looking to cook Miami right on the grill out there in Pittsburgh this weekend. So, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, give me Pitt to win this ball game because
I understand.
I think this is uncharted territories. If you're Miami, after losing that SMU game, yeah, you probably found out some level of focus that you needed to have locked in on a week to week basis. You've kind of showed that the last couple weeks, but I think going into this environment, this is a different environment. This is a different Pitt team, and I think Pitt's gonna have the upper hand. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna go ahead and say 28-21. Pitt wins. And yeah, I think that will definitely solidify Pitt as a ACC championship contender going into championship week. And for Miami, hey, Mario Cristobal, he's gonna have to come to the podium and talk to the Hurricane faithful because man,
He can't lose this one, man.
he can't lose this one, Chris. There's a
Can't
part of
lose
me
this one.
that says Miami figures it out and they beat Pitt, but man,
He can't lose this one.
I think Pitt wins.
This is
We'll
this
see.
is a must-win spot. This is a must-win spot. I'm just I think there's gonna be three categories that will tell us the story of this game, Kory. Turnovers,
Oh yeah.
penalties, rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
If Miami has three turnovers, eight penalties for like 88, 89, 92 penalty yards, and Pitt has 150 rushing yards, sounds like Pitt won by a couple TDs, brother. I'm gonna let this. If you aren't able to watch the game, if you go look at those categories before you look at the score, before you see the score, I think that those three categories will tell us how this game played out.
No. You're absolutely right, Chris. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Yeah, I think this is gonna be one of the more interesting ball games of the weekend, just because of the stakes that are on the line. 11 a.m.
Yeah,
kickoff.
everybody and mama talking about the Florida coaching search and will Mike Norvell, will he really be coming back as Florida State's head coach? Got everybody forgetting that, hey, Mario Cristobal got some business to handle this weekend. He got to
Yeah,
win this.
yeah. As well,
You,
what Kendrick Lamar say? I don't want to cut you off, Chris. We got some stuff to address. We got some stuff to address, right?
he got to win this, man. Like he can't afford to miss out on the playoffs back to back seasons.
No, he can't. He can't, man. Look, he already he already got all the flack out of losing to Stanford, losing that Virginia game. Now all the other games he's lost this season. Yeah. It's rough time down there in Tallahassee, Chris. Definitely rough time. It's funny you mentioned that because I was watching a Florida State fan talk about why can't all three teams, big schools in the state of Florida, do well? That meaning Florida State, Florida, and Miami. It's always something where they always drop the ball. Look, your guess is just as good as mine. Point blank. Period. That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. We'll see what happens in this ball game. Can Miami pull it off? And look, they definitely have the players to do it. And look, they have somehow mustered up some level of focus these last couple weeks. Like I said earlier, Chris, ever since losing to SMU, they've been locked in, and they found ways to win these ball games. Is it too late for Miami? No, not just yet. I think they got a great test. They beat Pitt at Pitt. I think that definitely, lessens the blow on, what a lot of Miami fans had hoped it would be. It would be a undefeated season. Hasn't looks like it's not going to be that. Well, it won't be that. But they can definitely right the ship with a win against Pitt. So we'll see what happens. I picked Pitt to win this game, but anything can happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. It should be a great game in the ACC for sure. So now, Chris, before we get into Bolton's bets, we have our final premier game. Yes, it is the game. Ohio State, Michigan. The line has Ohio State as a 9.5-point favorite. Over and under is at 44.5. Now, Chris, me and you, we haven't really, too much talked about Michigan. Maybe off and on this season.
They're hanging tight.
Yeah, they haven't been like, setting the world on fire per se. But
They've been winning.
Yeah, they've been winning. They that's what we gotta say. They've been winning at the end of the day. They've been handling their business. They lost to Oklahoma.
9-2.
Yeah, they're 9-2. They had lost to USC in the middle of the season, but for the most part, they have handled their business since then. They have a big opportunity, Chris. Can you imagine?
They win this, boy. They in the playoffs.
They in the playoffs. Like they literally in the playoffs. That is crazy. So, hey, it's the game, Chris. Look, it's nothing more I can say. This is just like the Egg Bowl. Something gotta give. Is Ohio State that team? Like we've seen them all season. They have been beating people into submission, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to showcase that in this one? or is Michigan going to shock the college football landscape again and do this at the big house? I gotta say Ohio State wins, Chris. Look, I know my family back in Michigan will probably say, "Come on, Kory, you can't say that. You can't say that about the Wolverines. All right, you can't do that. You can't do that." I don't know. This Ohio State team ain't playing with nobody right now, Chris. They clicking on all cylinders.
Then they got the nerve to rest, to load manage. Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate had them take the week off, give them a bye week to make sure those legs are well rested for how Ryan Day and company gonna be trying to run the score up, Kory.
How strategic that is. Like how pompous can you be to just be like, yeah, we don't even have to play these guys this week. Like who the hell did? Okay, yeah. You play Rutgers. Okay, that wasn't hard. It wasn't hard at all, Chris.
Somehow the schedule makers found a way to give Ohio State a semi-bye week leading into the Michigan game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The bye week, I see what you're doing, Ryan Day. I see what you're doing. But no. Look, Chris, this is gonna be a massive game, as it always is. Yeah, if Michigan wins, they're in. They only got one conference loss. They would give Ohio State their conference loss. Insane. But you gotta give it. I gotta give it to Ohio State at the end of the day. If I had to put a score on it, Chris, I think this is gonna be a high scoring game. I think Ohio State will be a little shell shocked by Bryce Underwood. They're gonna be like, hey, this guy can play some ball. And he's been playing ball all season. We've seen the good, we've seen the bad from him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna be a little shell shocked midway into this game, and I think they'll still find a way to settle down, figure it out. Give me the Buckeyes the win, 42-35. Late game touchdown. Saying to Tate gets them the win. Yeah, not even Jeremiah Smith.
Man, that'll be quite the game.
Yeah.
Man, after last season, anything is possible. The fact that Michigan team beat Ohio State last season still blows my mind. I'm going to go back and watch the condensed version of that game again, Kory.
I think I need to as well.
That is one of the wonders of the college football season from last year. We saw Ohio State turn into a monster. That game was like the future Sierra breakup. Like from that point on, Ohio State went on a 2014 future-esque run where they just dropped Monster. They dropped DS2. They dropped 56 Nights. Beast Mode. I mean, game after game was just a new album, a new record, a new mixtape, and it was nothing but heat. Cause all they did was just whoop feet from that point on, Kory. It was like a different team. But seriously though, the fact that happened last year has my whole mind just screwing with me.
Because it's a weird game.
What I want to tell you is, Kory, I want to tell you that Ohio State's going to put hands and feet on Michigan. That's what I want to say. I want to say Ohio State's going to put hands and feet on these boys. It's going to get ugly. Because Ryan Day needs this more than a natty. He can't go another year of losing to Michigan. Some people in Columbus are crazy. His ass to be right back on that hot seat if he loses this game.
Oh, he might be gone. Like Whether you win a national championship or not, he could be out of there, which would create a massive shakeup. Boy, you thought LSU looking for a head football coach would be crazy? Ohio State looking for a head coach would be crazy. It would be some assistant coaches being plucked out of like several different programs around the country. It would get nasty.
Ryan Day needs this game like he needs air. He cannot, absolutely, unequivocally, cannot lose this game. This is the national championship. I know the national championship comes later in January. No, this game is the national championship for Ryan Day, and they can't afford to lose it. And that's why I feel like it's just an intangible thing, just an X factor. Michigan is talented. Bryce Underwood will be a problem. Is a problem, and will continue to be a problem as years come. This is the game that Ohio State's been building for all season, Kory. I think it's going to get ugly. I think Ohio State wins 42-10. I think it's a straight up beatdown. I know it's crazy, and I would love for it to be a game, and I hope it is a close game. I really do. But I think Ohio State has unfinished business. I think Ryan Day knows what is at hand, and I think Julian Sand, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, I think these guys are ready for the moment. I think they truly are, and so I hope it's a close game. But my spidey senses just tell me this this game means what the Booty Warriors say? Booty is water. This game is water for Ohio State. This game means everything to everybody in that building. They gotta have this, and I don't think they just want to win it, Kory. This is the game. I think they want to embarrass Michigan. This is a statement game. Ain't no calling the dogs off in this game. They will run the score up. And which is why, as a little bonus bet, if you want to take Ohio State's team total reaching 30, 40 points, I think you should sprinkle a little something on it. Because I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to call the dogs off. I really think Ohio State is here to run it up. And I'm going to say the Buckeyes win 42-10.
We'll see. We'll see. Like I love it all. I love it all. look. To chime in to reenact the Boondocks episode, the Booty Warrior. You know, like when I watch Ohio State and Michigan, I say I likes this game and I wants this game. And the answer is always yes. They always deliver. Hey, oh man!
Right there, go look at Sharon Moore. We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. The choice is yours.
Oh no! Just tap out, Sharon Moore. Just tap out. I don't think by the time we get to fourth quarter, you want to see Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith catch more TDs in the end zone. I just don't. I don't think you want to see that. I don't think you want to deal with that.
I hope it's a great game. If it is a great game, I think it's because Michigan literally took the air out the football court.
Yeah.
Whether it's with with Justice Haynes,
mm-hmm.
or if it's with Bryce Underwood,
yeah,
with both of them running the football, it's gonna have to look like one of them hardball games, baby. Hey, Bryce better be throwing 11 for 13, 152 yards and 2 TDs. It's gonna be one of them games because they done ran the ball for 35, 40 attempts. And that means it's a close game.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Chris. Yeah, it would definitely be a close game at that point. So, look, Michigan has a lot cut out for them. I think when you have the game, you got to have some level of hype surrounded by you. You know, you got to be motivated at some point. You're not motivated for this game. What are you doing at any of these schools? So I think Michigan's going to be motivated. Ohio State definitely gonna be motivated. This is a big opportunity for Michigan. But overall, I think Ohio State, they're on a mission right now, Chris. It's gonna be hard to beat this team. Hard to beat this team. And I'm even looking at Indiana's direction. It's gonna be hard to beat this team. I think this team is definitely trying to go for that repeat, and they definitely have the team to make that repeat. So give me the Buckeyes to win this ball game. I think it's gonna be a little closer, per se, in my line of thinking, but I could be wrong. That's
No,
why
no,
you play the game.
you could be right. I mean, a quick little caveat: we are these are human beings we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan has been putting belt to ass. What, last 4 years, Kory?
Yeah, yeah. And they're gonna be
So
trying to
I
do
mean,
it again.
it's not like they're gonna be like thinking, "Oh, we can't beat these guys." They're like, "No, we beat these guys. This is what we do." So there is that element to where does Ohio State, like, are they too much into their own heads, or like can they be composed? Will they not play out of character because they're trying to prove themselves so much? Like there are little things to that will be factoring into this besides just the X's and O's of it all. So if that stuff does kind of come into play, and guys start playing emotionally, Ryan Day coaches emotionally, you know there could be some subtle X factors that could make this very even more interesting than what it already is.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's what makes this game great. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what both of these teams are made of because a lot is at stake in this game, and I can't wait to watch this one, Chris. This is gonna be a barn burner. It's gonna be a slobber knocker, as Jr. Jim Ross you say on WWE television. So.
I love the Jim. Shout out
Oh
to
man,
Jim, man, legend.
yes, absolutely. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a big game indeed. Can't wait for us to watch that one. So yeah, man. Well, we got the premier games out of the way, Chris. Before we head out of here on today's show, let's go ahead real quick and talk about Bolton's bets for week 14, rivalry week. We'll go ahead and start off with this one, Chris. We got Utah taking on Kansas. The line has Utah as 11.5 point favorite. Over or under is at 59.5. So overall, Chris, you got Utah in this one as your favorite. Let us know why that is.
I think Utah has found its stride. This is, yes, they struggled against K-State. Had to pull one off. I think that's the game that that will have this team locked back in. And I know they can put up points offensively, but the heart and soul of this team is strong defensive football, and I think they'll lock in. And we'll see Dan Pierre continue to play well for Utah. And I just think this team, it's a really good team. It's a playoff team. And if you're a playoff team, you're going up against a Kansas team that, isn't bowl eligible, you should go out there and show why they won't be going to a bowl. and you should dominate them. You should really cement your place as a team that should be making the college football playoff. So I think Utah, all the analytics kind of back them up too as being one of the better teams in the nation. And so I'm gonna trust the Utes in this one and playing up to their standard, righting some wrongs from that K-State game where K-State just ran left and right, up and down. I don't think that happens in this one. I think they clean things up defensively, play sound football, battle in the trenches, and limit Kansas opportunities on the ground. And if you do that, you force him to have to beat you on, in the air. That's when turnovers happen. And from turnovers, points off turnovers happen. I think Utah is a team that takes advantage of turnovers. So I see this being a good spot for Utah to ultimately run off and win this.
Nice. Yeah. I think this is a good opportunity for Dampier to kind of clean some things up, showcase why they're one of the best teams in the Big 12 conference, and just slap poor Kansas around throughout the whole game. So, I'm following your lead on this one, good sir. I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, man. Yeah, we will see in that one. Our next game, Chris, we got Texas A&M taking on Texas. Look, we got the game between Ohio State, Michigan, and then we got this one. Just two teams that do not like each other.
Little brother against big brother.
Exactly. I can feel the hostility right now in the Austin area, Chris. Look, let me tell you something. These people, they do not like A&M, and vice versa. A&M, you ask A&M people, they do not like Texas at all, and that's just the way it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. But yeah, man, the line right now, Chris, in this one has Texas A&M 2.5 point favorite, over under at 51.5. So you got Texas in this one, Chris. What's up in this game?
I do, brother. One of my reasons is gonna sound a little crazy. I'm not gonna get into the X's and O's of it all, but Kory, we honestly are due for chaos. It's too clean at the top.
Look, I've just been waiting. Me and you have been waiting like that SpongeBob meme where he's at the diner and he just like has his hands just sitting on the table and he's just like twiddling his thumbs, just waiting along. Like that's been us waiting for chaos.
It's too clean at the top. It really is. A&M being unblemished like this is just it's crazy stuff. But South Carolina exposed some cracks in the armor. They really did with this A&M team. A&M has played literally the bottom half of the SEC standings. That has been their SEC schedule, Kory. Everybody they played has been at the bottom half.
Been rough.
It's been the easiest strength of schedule you can have with an SEC schedule.
Can you say that the best team has been Mississippi State in that schedule from before A&M?
Low key.
Just saying.
And State would definitely look to have been the best team. They finished off some of these games, and had like an 8-3 record right now, or 7-4, something like that. But Marcel Reed is a quarterback that's extremely talented. But we've said it all year, Kory. He's gonna give you one. He's gonna give you one, whether it's a fumble or an interception. He makes plays and he makes up for his mistakes in his play competition to where his God-given talents allow him to make up for the mistakes he makes on the field. But at some point, you keep playing with the snake gonna bite you. And I think that snake is Texas defense. I think you give this Texas defense those same opportunities that you give to these other teams. I think Texas is going to hurt you. Not just defensively. You give Texas a short field. And I know Arch Manning has had his struggles, but you give Steve Sarkisian 40 yards a game to get 6 points, he going to make it happen. I appreciate that. So that's what he's going to tell you. Thank you for making this much easier than it has to be. I thank you. He'll scheme it on up. And 5 plays later, Texas has 6 more points on the board. But there's real cracks in this A&M offense. This A&M defense has improved as the season continued. if you establish the run, you can slow up this pass rush. And I think Texas has the team, the ability to be able to get the running game going. And if you're able to establish the run, that will make life so much easier for this offensive line that has struggled throughout the season. But I think if you just make A&M have to guess a little bit. And also, if you create these opportunities, these turnovers that I think you'll be able to create and capitalize off of, I think it negates that advantage that A&M has with this D-line. So I think the pieces are there, and this will also be one of the more talented teams A&M has played all season. I know Texas has had its struggles. It hasn't been pretty, and I have not been a fan of what Texas has been on, this season, the product that they've put on the field. But I think this is a prime spot for Texas to step up, rise to the occasion. You didn't do so against Georgia, but Georgia, honestly, I think is a better team than A&M. I think A&M, as good as they are, has been a byproduct of easy scheduling. And I think there are real cracks in the armor that can be exposed. And I think a rivalry game like this, with a head coach who's been in it, been there, done that, I think this is a great buy low opportunity for Texas to step up to the plate and reinforce and remind everybody that A&M is little bro and that UT is big bro. And so I'm gonna go with Texas and the Longhorns getting the dub.
Nice. Look, you know they want to pull it off, Chris. You know they want to make that statement. Like, look, A&M has been riding high all season. They've been finding all of these ways to win these ball games. Not in DKR. not this time. Look, DKR is gonna be rocking, Chris. It's gonna be crazy. We've already talked about the ticket sales. Massive game. I don't even know if Ohio State, Michigan, it has the crazy ticket sales numbers as this game is gonna have. I have to check that online when I get a chance. But man, people are really excited about this game. And yeah, if Texas can win this ball game, Chris, that just changes everything.
Imagine if Michigan and Texas win this weekend.
Oh my gosh. What are we doing?
It can get real messy.
Yeah.
Real fast when it comes to this playoff seeding.
I would not want to be the committee. I don't want to have no part in trying to figure that out. And look, I don't get paid for any of this. I just watch the game.
This week can really throw some stuff. It can throw a monkey wrench and some things for you.
Yeah,
for real.
It definitely could. But hey, I'm all for it.
Let Mississippi State beat Ole Miss. Auburn beat Alabama. Texas beat Texas A&M. And Michigan beat Ohio State. It's crazy, but it's possible.
It's possible.
Happen.
All of it's possible.
And then let Tennessee say, you know what? We ain't finished. We ain't done yet. Let Tennessee beat Vandy.
Oh man, hey, it's gonna be like that LeBron James meme. Like, hold on, I got two more for y'all.
Two more. Yeah, I got two more for y'all.
I got two more for y'all.
For the Tennessee beats Vandy, then what's another big time? And Pitt beat Miami.
Yeah, let's just throw that out there. But hey, what if Purdue beats Indiana? That won't happen, but hey.
That won't happen. That'd be crazy too. Oh man. James Madison might make the playoff for real then. They're gonna jump from unranked to number 12.
Yeah, they're gonna get into the playoff, and they're gonna be like they just got out of a crowd chamber. Like, hey, what happened? I don't know what. I don't know what the last couple.
Be that Drewski meme.
Me?
You want us in the top 12?
Okay. Oh man, yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Chris. Pandemonium will strike over the weekend if all of that happens. I don't know what the committee would do at that point. I really don't. But I wouldn't want to be in that situation. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Oh, boy. Oh, or LSU. Not so fast, my friend.
Oh my God.
LSU beat Oklahoma.
Oh my God. They're like, look, we destroyed Oklahoma season and we got Lane Kiffin out of it. We're at the top of the mountain.
The corpse of the Tigers. Blood everywhere on the ground. The bloody Tigers has been beaten and battered all season long.
Oh my
Has
God.
one more fight in them. And they beat the Sooners, which ain't impossible. I'm not picking it to happen. But Oklahoma has not been playing well.
No.
At least offensively they haven't. So.
Right. No, you're absolutely
we'll
right.
See how that game goes too.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Chris. So, yeah, big game indeed, Chris. I can't wait for this one. It's gonna be a fun one.
Oh,
Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
It's big showdown. For the Battle of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. We'll see what happens.
North Texas says not so fast.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
Hey, shout out to North Texas. They've had a great season too.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. And we'll go ahead and move on over to this game, Chris. Texas Tech taking on West Virginia. The line has Texas Tech as a 24.5-point favorite. Over under is at 53.5. You got the Red Raiders in this one, Chris. I know that West Virginia has not had a great season. They'll be belt their ass, I think, in this game.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about with this one. Texas Tech is one of the better teams in the nation. I believe in college football when it comes to their record against the spread. They cover.
Yeah. They usually do.
They usually cover. And this should be a splattering.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
This should be a beatdown.
Sorry, Rich Rob.
There's no X's and O's to get into with this one. We know how great Texas Tech is.
Yeah.
Beatdown.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't see it any other way. Texas Tech, they've been on that mission in the Big 12 this season, and hey, they have been laying the wood on opponents week in and week out. This will be no different.
Exactly.
So yeah, man. Well, those are your Bolton's bets, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it. I had to have a little bonus one for the good folks out there before we, sign off and let everyone have their great Thanksgiving feast over the weekend with their friends and family. I got Vanderbilt and Tennessee, Chris. The line has Tennessee as a 3.5-point favorite. Over under is at 65.5. Give me Vandy in this one, Chris. After what I saw from Diego Pavia a week ago, smacking Kentucky left and right in Nashville, I don't think the people in Rocky Top should be going in thinking that this is going to be a clear-cut win for them, Chris. I don't see it. Vandy's going to come in hype. They're going to come in looking to take down Tennessee at home. I think this team's good enough to do it. Give me Vandy in this game. I think they're going to win.
Okay. I can see it. I really can. Pavia looks to be someone who's going to be a Heisman finalist. So you got your guy that if you feel like there's any quarterback in the nation that can take you into hostile territory and lead you to victory, I feel like Diego Pavia is on that list. So, you have your commander-in-chief. I think this is a team that's very well coached. You have Clark Lee, who is the guy to rally the troops and also put together a game plan to execute and get the win. And this is a team I feel like that's learned from the Alabama loss, the Texas loss. They've come close, and I think with this game, you're just going to have to your guys from the perimeter got to be sound, play the ball because Tennessee has some guys that can go up and get it. We know Brazil, what he can do. He's got 6'4", just a grown man on the outside. So good luck trying to cover him.
Just a monster.
If you could slow down Tennessee and win those 50-50 balls and force Joey Aguilar to beat you by stopping this rushing attack, because Josh Heupel loves to run the football. That's what this offense is centered around, is getting the running game going. If you slow down that and force Joey Aguilar to make the plays, the shootout between Aguilar and Pavia, I might be siding with Pavia, so I can see it happening, Kory.
Yeah. I just look at this game, Chris, as, man, can Tennessee stop Pavia if they find a way to get downfield? And then, you watch Vanderbilt games, they get down the field pretty quick.
They got them big tight ends, boy.
Yeah.
They got some playmakers.
I know. They play that play action like it ain't nobody's business. Pavia rolls out, he gets a first down. Man, they keep that offense rolling with those big tight ends, like you said, Chris. If he gets like that, I see it's gonna be hard for Tennessee to stop that, Chris. Not to say that they don't have the players to stop it, but hey, this is not your grandma's Vandy. This team, they play very fast on offense. They got some physical receivers, physical tight ends out there, and Diego Pavia is Diego Pavia. That's who you also have to worry about. Yeah. I think this game right here is a game that Tennessee cannot afford to lose, and if they do, I would be right about saying that Vandy has the upper edge, because I think overall, I think they do.
I like it.
So, yeah, that's my little bonus pick for you guys out there. So I hope you guys take heed to my words. So yeah. Well, partner, that's rivalry week. I know we didn't mention the Iron Bowl. Alabama, Auburn. We'll see what happens in that game.
We will.
I'm
hoping for pandemonium. It is interesting.
Yeah.
They say Deuce Knight ain't starting, but I think we're gonna see a lot of Deuce Knight. He might not get the start, but hey, let Auburn's offense go 3 and out that first drive. I bet you Deuce Knight gonna be coming out there that second drive.
Exactly.
Right now.
I agree with you. No, there's no way they can let that guy not play in this game. Especially with, you going out there trying to look for another head coach. You gotta sell something.
It's a home game too for Auburn.
Yeah. Look, you gotta sell the future.
You better throw Deuce out there. He gonna get the fans going.
Exactly.
Get everybody involved.
Right.
Everybody engaged.
Agreed. So we'll see what happens in that game. But it's the Iron Bowl.
Anything can
crazy
happen.
rivalry. Yeah, I know. Exactly. So yeah, man. Rivalry week. Can't wait for us to talk about it when we come back here on the Breakdown Sportscast. We'll see. We'll let you guys know when we'll next record. We'll probably record sometime probably Monday or Tuesday, early in the week next week. Just kind of enjoy the Thanksgiving break for sure. So yeah. Overall, Chris, can't wait, man. Before we head out of here, we're gonna have some outros. Let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can holler at your boy on X, or as I call it, Twitter, Chris_Bolton_12, and on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_.
Awesome. And yeah, folks, you can follow me on X at Listen to KSW. I'm on there talking college football, professional wrestling, all of that. So yeah, definitely chime in with me on there. But yeah, guys, like I said, we'll be back later on next week. We'll go ahead and kind of enjoy um, the Thanksgiving weekend. Let you guys out there enjoy your family and your friends over the holidays, the Thanksgiving holiday. And we'll be back sometime earlier next week, and we'll let you guys know when we'll be back to go over everything that happened in Rivalry week 14. But yeah, guys, um, until next time, I'm Kory Willis. He's Chris Bolton. You are listening to the Breakdown Sportscast. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll chat with y'all later. Peace.
Peace.